Hello everyone, this is an online legal training brought to you by the Mast Human Intelligence app. Today's session is the Thai law on forced labor and human trafficking. According to the International Labour Organization's Forced Labor Convention No. 29, 1930, forced or compulsory labor is all work or service that is exacted from any person under the threat of a penalty and for which the person has not offered himself or herself voluntarily. According to the Palermo Protocol, trafficking in persons shall mean the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of persons by means of the threat or use of force or other forms of coercion, abduction, fraud, of deception, of the abuse of power, or of a position of vulnerability, or of the giving or receiving of payments or benefits to achieve the consent of a person having control over another person, for the purpose of exploitation. Exploitation shall include, at a minimum, the exploitation of the prostitution of others or other forms of sexual exploitation, forced labor or services, slavery or practices similar to slavery, servitude, or the removal of organs. The Anti-Human Trafficking Act of 2008 in Thailand prohibits forced labor and human trafficking. Section 6 outlines the three key elements of the human trafficking offence: the act, the means, and the exploitation, aligning with the definition of human trafficking as per the Palermo Protocol. Section 52 imposes penalties ranging from 4 to 10 years of imprisonment. If the victim is aged between 15 to 18 years, the sentence increases to 6 to 12 years. For victims under 15 years old, the punishment is heightened to 8 to 15 years of imprisonment. In 2019, Thailand amended its Anti-Human Trafficking Act to include the criminalization of forced labor. Section 6/1 of the Act defines forced labor as any act where a person compels another individual to work or provide services through threats of harm to life, body, liberty, reputation, or property, either to the person threatened or to another individual. This coercion may involve intimidation, the use of force, confiscation of identification documents, or subjecting the victim to debt bondage. The penalty for the offence of forced labor ranges from 6 months to 4 years of imprisonment. If the forced labor results in serious injury to the victim, the sentence increases to 8 to 20 years. In cases where the victim dies as a result of the forced labor, the penalty is a life sentence or capital punishment. This online legal series is proudly presented by the Mast Human Intelligence app, emphasizing our steadfast belief that knowledge is the most powerful tool in empowering vulnerable workers to protect themselves against trafficking, forced labor, and exploitation. Thank you for tuning in.